What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're previewing the New York Giants traveling to the Philadelphia Eagles on Thursday Night Football for the Week 6 matchup in the NFL tomorrow night, rather. So, very excited about this game. I'm not expecting us to win. I actually don't think we will win, but there's actually a good chance we will win, and I'm going to be on the edge of my seat till the end. I think the Giants have a lot to build from Week 5 against the Carolina Panthers. They should have won that game. They didn't. It took a 63-yard field goal from Grant Gano to finish off that game. The defense played very well until the end. Even though they allowed 33 points, they slacked off in the beginning of the game, but they definitely, did very well in the second half. Barring freaking all those referee mishaps and things like that, missed calls and terrible calls on the field. Things like that. Hopefully we'll never get that guy, Jerome Boger. I think that's his name. That referee and his crew again. That was a terrible crew. Ridiculous. We should have won that game. I'm not going to go on too far on a tangent about that, but it is what it is. But I'm very excited about this Week 6 matchup. We get to face the Philadelphia Eagles in our nice throwback uniforms, or color rush uniforms that are kind of a modern version of our throwback uniforms. I'm very excited. I love those uniforms. So very excited to see my team play in that. I'm pretty sure it's at Philly. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it's at Philly. But anyway, moving on from that, we're gonna go on to we're gonna start off with the injuries for both teams. So let's start off with the Giants. Of course, we got Connor Barwin with a knee injury. He did not practice. I'm pretty sure he's gonna play though. Evan Ingram, tight end. He's gonna be coming. He's hopeful to come back from that knee injury. He's in limited practice, and a lot of people are saying that they see him run routes, run at full speed, things like that. He's just limited at practice, and he's very hopeful to and very confident in coming back on Thursday night. You look at Aldrick Rosas, our kicker. He had a quad injury, has a sore calf or sore quad or something like that. That's very concerning because Aldrick Rosas is having a phenomenal year. I believe he's like 7 for 7 on extra points made and 11 out of 11 field goals made. So he's looking very well. And then our guy on the practice squad, Marshall Cone, that kicker from the preseason, you guys know he played terrible. So that's pretty much who we have if Aldrick Rosas can't play. So I hope Aldrick Rosas can play. He said himself as well that he is confident and expecting himself to play on Thursday night. You look at Russell Shepard, wide receiver. Not the Shepard we're worried about, though. It's like Sterling Shepard, but Russell Shepard has a neck injury. He did not practice. He is kind of so-so from playing on Thursday night. A lot of people are saying that he might play. A couple reports saying that he might play. I'm not very concerned about it too much. That's just depth, really. Okay, Rhett Ellison has a foot injury, limited practice. I'm hoping we can get him back with Evan Ingram, so we can get in that 12 personnel and actually have 2 tight end sets. So from that, Josh Morrow, he just came back and already got hurt, but he is a full participant and should be playing on Thursday night. Olivier Vernon is finally, hopefully making his debut on Thursday Night Football. You guys know that Pro Football Focus on 18 snaps, I believe, on just 18 snaps the whole preseason, Olivier Vernon had like 9 pressures and 1 sack or something like that. So he was playing phenomenal in the preseason. And James Betcher, that's one of his favorite guys so far. So I'm happy that James Betcher is getting Olivier Vernon back, and hopefully Olivier Vernon makes a difference. We're getting our #1 pass rusher back, and hopefully, that is very impactful in our success with this game coming up. And then Jawel Davis, wide receiver, he has a shoulder injury. He's a full participant, so he should be able to play on Thursday night. You look at the Eagles, it's not really concerning to me with the Eagles. The people that are full participants are starters, and the people that did not practice are backups, so I'm not really worried about them. So you got DJ Alexander with a quad, Nathan Gary with the knee and ankle, Corey Graham hamstring, Haloti Ngata calf, Darren Sproles hamstring. The only guy I'm really worried about out of that group is Darren Sproles. He gives us a lot of problems in special teams and catching the ball at the backfield, but that's pretty much it. Haloti Ngata is not who he was, so I'm not worried about that, and he's not a starter anyway. Limited participation. Lane Johnson with an ankle injury. I'm pretty sure he's going to play, but if not, it doesn't matter. I think the tackles are really struggling. Jason Peters and Lane Johnson are struggling. The whole offensive line for Philadelphia is struggling this season. They went from the best to, average. So hopefully we were able to take advantage of that. Carson Wentz just rested. He's just, trying to recover from that injury he suffered last year. So just to make sure he doesn't stress anything out and make anything worse, and have some a positive recovery, then keep working out that injury. And then for full participants, you got Derek Barnett, Corey Clement, Sidney Jones, and Jason Peters. So these guys are all starters. Well, Corey Clement, I think he's starting because of J.H.I.'s injury. So with that being said, the Eagles are pretty healthy. So that's pretty concerning for me because they pretty much have a full squad. So moving on from that, we're going to look at the keys to success for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to give you my 3 keys to success. I'm going to give you the depth chart review. I'm going to tell you who has the advantage here, who has the advantage there on both teams, on every position. And then I'm going to give you my final thoughts on the game. So, keys to success. We've got number 1, take advantage of a struggling Eagles O-line. With Vernon possibly coming back, we can really get a jump on Carson Wentz. Behind that offensive line, the offensive line has been struggling. On top of that, the running game isn't going to be all that well. Corey Clement is a little bit hurt. J.H.I. just got put on IR. Darren Sproles is a little banged up. Their running backs right now aren't very plenty. So, if we can stop the run, which should be pretty easy to do, we should stop the run and then limit Carson Wentz to pass the ball, even though he is dangerous. Remember, he's still not going to try to do the same plays he did before the injury, so he's going to be pretty conservative. On top of that, with the offensive line he's going to be out of the pocket a lot. So if we can get some pressure there, especially with Vernon coming back, we should be able to take advantage of this Eagles offense and hopefully limit them to field goals and things like that, and possibly get some turnovers. Carson Wentz has a huge problem of fumbling the ball. That's never changed. It probably won't change. He just has a big problem with fumbling the ball. On top of that, if we can get him out the pocket, he could make some mistakes, throw an interception here and there, things like that. So, number 2, don't get too anxious against an opponent that knows us very well. Don't get too anxious. That's all I got to say for number 2. Being that the Eagles know how to play us. The Eagles know how to play us very well. It doesn't matter if they have a 4-12 team. It doesn't matter if they have a 12-4 team. They always find a way to beat us because they know us very well. They know how to scheme versus us very well. They know our players. They know our scheme. They know our game plan. Things like that. So it wouldn't be a good idea of not rushing Saquon Barkley and not trying to balance his run-pass game. That's like a kind of in parentheses for this key to success. It's don't get too anxious and then balance the run and pass game. Do not try to force the ball down the field when you could just take some runs, take some short throws, and move down the field methodically. I know that's not what the fans want. That's not typically what I want. But if it's a way to success, that's how you got to do it. You have to balance the run and pass game. Give the ball to Saquon. Give the ball to Wayne Gallman. I don't know why we only have 2 running backs on the roster still. We have to make a move and put Jerome Presley on this roster from the practice squad so we can get some more carries in this run game, because that's ultimately what we have to turn this team into with Eli Manning's decline. So, all that being said, there's the second key to success. The third and final key to success: keep everything in front of you on defense. The Eagles are very, very famous. You see it in the highlights all the time. They're always going deep, no matter who it's to. Whether it's to this Sheldon Gibson dude, whether it's to Nelson Aguilar, who's a legitimate deep threat. I think Mike Wallace got put on IR. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't know if he's healthy or not. I think Mike Wallace got put on IR, so we're not worried about him as being a deep threat. But Alshon Jeffrey could stretch the field. Kamar Aiken could stretch the field. Jordan Matthews could stretch the field. So all these guys can be a legitimate deep threat in some way. So you have to keep everything in front of you on defense. Curtis Riley, I need you to take better angles. I need you to keep everything in front of you. Landon Collins, I need you to stop bouncing off of tackles. As the safeties, you need to be the last line of defense. Do not let anything get in back of you. On top of that, for the cornerbacks, you got to give some cushion up front. Don't press as much because these guys are pretty fast. These guys can hit some mean cuts on you. Nelson Aguilar has quickly become one of the better slot receivers in the league. Do not let this guy hit a quick slant on you, because he will catch that ball and he's going to be gone for another 50 yards. So keep everything in front of you. The cover 2 is probably the best way to do it. Just a soft zone on cover 2. That's pretty much how you got to work it. And an occasional cover 3 to limit that deep middle, to try to get that deep middle taken away, because, you know, with the tight end, the Philadelphia Eagles have a lot of good tight ends, so we got to take that middle of the field out of there. Those are the 3 keys to success. Let me know your 3 keys in the comment section below. If you have maybe it's 1 key, 2 keys, 3 keys, 4 keys, any amount. You guys let me know in the comment section below. I'm sure my keys aren't the only keys to success. I'm sure you guys got some as well. So make sure you leave that comment down below. Anyway, let's get on to the depth chart review. We'll start off with the quarterbacks right now. Who's playing the best right now? I'm not going to really talk about the backup quarterbacks. Even though if we did, it would be Eagles anyway. But I'm going to give it to the Philadelphia Eagles as far as the quarterbacks go. Obviously, Carson Wentz is better than Eli right now. There's no dispute about that whatsoever. Nick Foles is probably better than Eli right now. So, yeah, I'm going to give that to the Philadelphia Eagles. We now move on to the wide receivers. Who has the edge in the wide receiver game? And you know what? If we get a good Sterling Shepard, back, we get a Odell Beckham that goes over 100 yards. If we get, Cody Latimer back, he's supposed to be coming back. So we'll see what happens with him. I'm pretty sure that the Giants have the better wide receiver core. Even though with the Philadelphia Eagles, all these guys are legitimate deep threats to me, I just don't think there's like a legitimate #1 wide receiver in this roster. Right now, Alshon Jeffrey is all right. He's not what he was with the Bears. I'll give that to him, that he's a very good wide receiver. But is he a legitimate #1 wide receiver threat? I don't really know about that. But I'm going to give the edge to wide receivers to the Giants. Moving on to the running backs, we've got Darren Sproles is supposed to be starting. Corey Clement, Wendell Smallwood, and Josh Adams, I guess, is on the roster now. And these aren't guys that you kind of want to look forward to. So as far as the running backs go, I'm going to give it to the Giants because we have Saquon Barkley and Wayne Gallman. We signed this guy Elijah Penny, but he's playing fullback. But just for the fact that Josh Adams is unproven, Wendell Smallwood isn't good, and then Corey Clement and Darren Sproles are beat up. So these guys are probably going to get limited snaps, if anything. So that's going to be a problem for the Eagles. For us, it's going to be pretty good. So the running backs I'm going to give to the Giants. Let's go with the tight ends. I'm going to give that to the Philadelphia Eagles. Evan Ingram is coming back. He's going to be a little beat up. So, I'm going to give him a little, I'm not going to really include him as much because I don't think he's going to get as much snaps. Red Ellison is also beat up. So you got Garrett Dickerson and Scott Simon, who are pretty healthy, but that's pretty much it. And, of course, you got one of the best tight ends in the league in Zach Ertz. And then you got Dallas Goedert, who was making plays as a rookie. So I'm going to give the tight end edge to the Philadelphia Eagles. We move on to the offensive line. I know the offensive line is struggling for the Philadelphia Eagles. But, I mean, what offensive line isn't better than the Giants right now? Even though the Giants played very well against the Carolina Panthers, the Eagles' offensive line are proven in this league and probably just need to kind of get another head start. They need a head start. They're off to a slow start, and they'll probably get a head start in this game. So, I'm going to give the offensive line edge to the Philadelphia Eagles. And that's all on offense. We're going to move on to the defense. As far as the defensive ends go, I'm going to give that, the D-line. Let's just talk about the D-line. The D-line I'm going to give to the Philadelphia Eagles, no doubt. Derek Barnett. Haloti Ngata is starting. I'm sorry about that. Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham. And these guys are pretty good. All of these guys are legitimate threats in their respective positions. So I'm going to give the edge to the Philadelphia Eagles as far as defensive ends go. We've got linebackers. We got some guy named Kamu Grugier-Hill, Jordan Hicks, who always gets hurt, and Nigel Bradham. Now, Nigel Bradham is very good. Jordan Hicks is very good. And I don't know who, especially with Olivier Vernon coming back. I know we run the 3-4, so it's a little bit different to kind of say who's better at linebacker. And Kareem Martin is pretty good. We got Connor Barwin. Ray Armstrong is making a lot of plays. I mean, I have to give this edge to the Giants just because we have so much depth, so many linebackers and so much depth that you really can't go wrong. Kareem Martin is playing well. He's getting a lot of pressures. Connor Barwin is a good backup. B.J. Goodson is backing up Ray Armstrong now. Ray Armstrong is looking very well in this Giants system. Alec Ogletree. He gives up a lot of pass plays, but he's doing very well in the run game, which was the complete opposite of why he left the Rams. But anyway, and then you got Olivier Vernon, who's coming back. I'm not gonna act like he's gonna get 3 sacks this game, because he's coming back from a freaking 7-week injury. So I don't know how he's gonna play yet, but Lorenzo Carter has been all right. He has a sack in the league now, and he's been also getting a lot of pressures, a lot of key tackles as well, a lot of tackles for loss for Lorenzo Carter. So as far as the linebackers go, you know what? The Philadelphia Eagles fans always make fun of us about our linebackers. I think we have the edge in this one at linebacker. We move on to the cornerbacks. I'm gonna give the edge, because Eli Apple and then Janoris Jenkins, and then you got Ronald Darby and Jalen Mills with Rasul Douglas and Sidney Jones. I'm going to give the edge to the Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Mills is all right. I don't think he's great. Ronald Darby is pretty good. I think he's a legitimate number one cornerback. I know a lot of people don't think so, but I like Ronald Darby. And then you got Rasul Douglas, who's all right. Sidney Jones, who's pretty good, unproven in this league, but I think has a lot of potential. And then Avonte Maddox, who also has an interception already in his career as a rookie. So I'm gonna give the advantage to the cornerbacks to the Philadelphia Eagles. And then at safety, Corey Graham and Malcolm Jenkins. Obviously, I mean, Malcolm Jenkins is all right. I don't think he's great. I think he's a little overrated. And then I think he gets dotted up a lot. I think he's very well in the box, but I think in pass coverage, he's not very good. And then Corey Graham, I mean, he's coming off an injury as well. Whatever happened to this dude, Rodney McLeod? Is he hurt or something like that? I guess he's not on the roster right now. I thought he was on the roster, but I guess not. So I thought Corey Graham was not a starter, but he is. So that's a problem for the Philadelphia Eagles. So and he's also banged up. So I'm gonna give the edge to the Giants as far as the safeties go. Landon Collins is struggling this year. I get that. Riley Curtis is struggling too, but I think they're just a better duo right now than Malcolm Jenkins and Corey Graham. So all that being said, those are the all the positions. I'm not going to include special teams. If you want to include special teams as a whole, it's obvious that the Philadelphia Eagles has the better special teams because of the pure fact that they're, every time we face them, they always do something on punt return or kick return. And with Darren Sproles, they're just a huge threat. So I'm going to give the edge to the Eagles, especially that we have a banged up kicker right now. So all that being said, my final thoughts on the game, I think it's going to be a tough game. I don't think the Eagles are going to blow us out because I think they're struggling. I don't think we're going to blow out the Eagles in any way, shape, or form. I think if we win, it's going to be a 3-point game. I think if the Eagles win, it's going to be at least a touchdown game. I mean, at most a touchdown game. And if the Giants win, at least a field goal game. Evan Ingram should be able to play well in this 2 tight end set. The linebackers aren't very good. You got Jordan Hicks who can cover very well, but he's going to be focused on Saquon Barkley. So we're going to take him out of the equation. And then you got, these Nigel Bradham's all right. The safeties are struggling for the Eagles, so we have to get in this 2 tight end set with Evan Ingram and Rhett Ellison. Hopefully they're pretty healthy, and we can spread the field that way. Odell Beckham should get his way with Jalen Mills. I don't know, with Ronald Darby, he's a faster guy. He's not the best cornerback ever, but he can compete with Odell Beckham because of sheer speed. Ronald Darby is that quick, so that's the only reason why I'm worried about Ronald Darby and Odell. But that's pretty much it. I think on offense we'll be all right. On defense, we might struggle with Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz always finds a way to do something on us because he's like a legitimate dual threat quarterback. So you guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I think we're gonna lose this game like a 19 to 14 type game for the Giants. I think the Eagles are gonna win like 19 to 14. So you guys let me know in the comment section below what do you guys think. All that being said, if you guys like the video, make sure you guys like the video and subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. And I'll see you guys in the next video.